Number 17, Khalid Ludlow. Number 7, Nicholas Morton. Number 4, Liam Charles. Number 14,
Alright, we good to go?
Number 15, making his return, Jack Turner. Number 10, Alex Walker. Number 19.
Welcome to the Theatre of Dreams, Darcy Street, for this massive round 8 clash in the PS4 NPL Tasmania, South Hobart. Whoa, that is some loud sound effects right there. South Hobart, hosting Hobart there as sound effects are as excited as I am apparently. Fortunately, an absolute cracking contest. 3-0 the score last time they played, and I don't think that was quite representative of the closest of the clash. In the end, the aerial strength of Zebra is just a bit much for South Hobart. Will that be the story today? Joining me to yammer our way through this one, two of Tassie's finalists on my left, Jake Eamon. Morgan, welcome to the Theatre of Dreams, Jake.
Oh, it's fantastic to be here today, and I'm just as excited as you and the sound effects are too, because this is a clash of two of the heavyweights in the National Premier League here today.
Perhaps sitting in an unfamiliar position at 3rd and 4th on the table, but all very tight on the top. On my right, joining us as well, Paul Hunt. Hunty, what are you expecting today, mate?
Well, as you say, I mean, typically over the last few years in the NPL, they've been consistently two of the top teams, and we see that again, 3rd and 4th, not too far off the top, and with the results going the way they are this weekend, both in need of a victory. So yeah, looking forward to an absolute cracker. And as you say, I agree with the last game. I was re-watching that last night just for a bit of background, and yeah, it was a pretty even contest. I'd say 3-0 is not you're looking at me that, Jake, I was procrastinating from work, that's why.
Yeah, it certainly looks like I'm going to be thrown out of this position soon with this bloke doing background work. I don't know about that. I prefer the absolute dribble mode of commentary, but good on you, Paul. Good to see you taking your work very seriously.
You've got to procrastinate from uni somehow, mate. You should know that.
Right.
You should know that as well as I.
So,
I usually do that by the pub.
two very different approaches here from my left and right. Going through the teams here, we got South Hobart, the host, first up. Number 1, Kieran Brown, he'll start in goals. His namesake, Daniel Brown, will be centre back. He's been in good form this year, Dogger Brown. Number 6, Kobe Kemp, will sit in the midfield, the architect of the team. Number 3, Adam Gorry, he'll play a right back. His opposite fullback will be Liam Quayle, you'd suspect, on the left. He's been used a little bit on the wing at times, but after missing out a couple of weeks ago, he's back in there as the fullback. Number 17, Caleb Ludlow, he'll shield the back forward, just plays the deepest role, just does the simple things, does it really well. Number 7, Nick the Morthog Morton, he has been in very good form in recent weeks, Morton, and you just feel like he's ready to take a game like this by the scruff of the neck. Will it be his day?
I love his style of play up here. It's that slice of cheese. Nick Morton can be that bustling midfielder that you need to get on the end of the final ball. Really like his work for the South Hobart side.
Also in defence, Oscar Thomas will partner Dan Brown. Hugh Ludford out injured for the next few weeks. Number 10, Alex Walter. Speaking of form players in the competition, he has just gone from strength to strength this year. And then a couple of new faces. Really looking forward to seeing number 19, Pajari Sculthorpe, finally given a chance. I thought maybe with Hamlet Lazinski out, we might have seen him a bit sooner this season, but handed his first start of the year in quite a big game for the youngster.
Certainly been in some strong form last year for the Magoos, so good to see him get a big job here today for the number 1.
Long overdue, and speaking of overdue, it's just a big return. He's just snuck himself into there. Number 5, Jack Turner. Will he get turned out there on the pitch today? He is just a force in midfield. He's only just returned to the club, and he's straight back into the starting lineup. He is just a powerhouse in the middle. He'll snap legs, he'll hit goals from range. He's all-action customer on the bench. Jakey Brennan, Ryan Cook, Luke Farrell, Connor Schmidt and James Wilson. That is a seriously talented bench, gentlemen.
So such a talented bench that the own South Hobart programs actually put Turner on the bench and Cook on the starting lineup. That's how recent he's actually gone into the South Hobart colours. So it'll be interesting to see, I guess, fitness and whether it's up to that. But a classy player is Jack Turner, and then as you say, that bench, we've seen plenty of Cook and Luke Farrell over, and especially Connor Schmidt as well. So it's a great lineup there from South Hobart.
Moving on to the Hobart Zebras. At the top there, number 10, Chrissy Downs, Tasmania's answer to David Beckham. He'll just be swinging those dead balls in all day.
I just absolutely love this player. I think just about every time I see him, just threatening over a dead ball, I get goosebumps because you know that something's going to happen. You just know that something's going to happen when this man has your dead ball. Doesn't matter where it is on the pitch, you can expect absolute top-class delivery every time from downs.
And one of the men he'll be trying to put it on the noggin of, big number 5, Nick Grunwald. He's having some sort of year at the centre half. He's been an absolute force for the Zebras. Number 3, Jaden Hay. I expect he'll be back at fullback. He'd prefer to play on the wing, but Sav likes him in defence. Very much a defence-first customer, Saville. Number 13, Lukey Huxlute. He'll sit just in behind. Number 17, Matthew Sanders, up top and be that big focal point for them. Number 8, Sir Vivian Imran Lewis, the centre-back, who will partner Gronwald. Adam Sunday McEwen, he'll sit out on the left, cutting in on that right foot of his, and he's always a chance for a goal. Number 21, Marcelo Mercury, he'll stand between the sticks. He let in a bit of a soft one against the Warriors, but either side of that, his form has been pretty good in goals. He's had a pretty decent year. Number 6, Jordan Muller, probably play the deepest of the midfield 3. As we mentioned, Sanders will play as the lead striker. Dwayne Walsh, the Dwayne Pipe, wide on the right with Lukey Warrener. Out the fullback is a bit of thunderstruck just pumping around Darcy Street here just to lift the mood. A pretty cold and grey day here. That bench for Zebras, I should mention of note quickly. Jack Gates has defected from the Lions Den, and he will be on the bench today for the Zebras, along with Griffin, Kadisha, and Marie. What are we expecting from this one, gentlemen? Zakadaka pumps out around the ground.
I think just today with the injuries that South have up front, I'm tentatively going to tip a 2-1 to the Zebras today, though I would really like to see some big things from Fajari Sculthorpe out there today that could get the South boys over the line.
I'm a bit robbed there, Jake. You've taken my exact prediction I was thinking of, and to be honest, I don't feel like changing either. Having seen plenty of the Zebras over the last few weeks, obviously there's been plenty of talk of Saville's style, but it's effective, it's winning, and yeah, I'm thinking a 2-1 as well.
I would recommend you spread that prediction because we've got to at least make sure that some of us maintain some credibility, and I was pretty tentative with mine, but good on you, Paul, for backing me in. I like to see
I'll
it.
back you into that any day there, Morgan.
Well, I'm sitting in between you two, and I'm going to sit in between and tip a 2-all draw in this one. I think Colby Splinters, I think there's not a lot between them. It's been a tight year, a massive occasion for both these teams. Looking at the table, a 4-point gap to the top 2. Neither team wants to drop the points today and have that gap opening up.
And who are you expecting the weather to help today, Crawley? Because I was just thinking as I sat in my South Hobart backyard as the rain was falling earlier today that this could help South zip the ball across the pitch a bit more, but equally it could play into the hands of the Zebras, who don't mind lumping it long and skipping a potentially bogged down pitch in place.
The pitch looks in pretty good condition here. It's rain started away. There's not been too many games played on here, so I think it will help South Hobart with the crispness of their passing, if anything. I don't think it's quite the bog we might see slightly later in the year. Darcy Street usually very nicely looked after.
I was to say, it's quite lucky this is on one of the, I guess, premier pitches of Tasmania. I can certainly think of a few where if this game was on, it would certainly fit the Zebras with given the amount of rain we've had here in the last 24 hours. Nice bit of snow on Mount Wellington as well. Just adds to the atmosphere of this grand old ground, and yeah, hopefully it'll be befitting this game as Thunderstruck potentially gets even louder in the background here. Don't call it the Theatre of Dreams for nothing up here in Darcy Street.
Well, just seconds away from getting going here at Darcy Street. And I'm excited, and I think everybody listening in today should be. It will be a cracking affair. Fajari Sculthorpe just settling over the ball here to get us going. We're expecting big things.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. And we're just about to get underway. Strauss the man in the middle today. And off we go. The Morthog Morton jumping on the ball to begin proceedings and laying back to Liam Quayle. Tucker Brown in the middle of defence. South content just to knock it around at the back line early in this one.
Certainly keeping possession here well, South. We've seen from kickoffs here in the league it's quite a tendency just to bomb it forward, but we've seen some good possession play around the back here as it goes out to Dogger Brown. The Morthog Morton picks it up well into his own half, looking up under pressure there from Huxlute. Played out to the wing. I think that's Gorry out on the right hand side there, plays it back inside. Number 5, I think that's Jack Turner in his first touch under South Hobart colours. It's a good intercept there out for a Zebras throw in. A calm start to the game. Nothing too frantic so far, but
not looking to rush forward. the South players at the moment, just content to sit on the ball, and I think we'll certainly see a lot of that from them today. They're not carrying perhaps as much of a direct threat as the Zebras side will be today, but they will knock it around, and you can see some very beautiful football when teams set out to play like that.
It'll certainly be an interesting contrast between the two styles today. We've seen South Hobart, especially over the years, play a more possession-based style that's led them to so much success in the league, and then sometimes they do just hoof it forward, as the goalkeeper has done there, and we've seen Grunwald with the big header there and playing it out wide to the Dwayne pipe. He's looking to take him one-on-one. That beautiful nutmeg there from Dwayne Walsh, but couldn't quite get the return. It was well cut out there. Mortog under pressure, just plays it calmly back to Quayle, and then lumped forward there from Dogger Brown, and then out by the Zebras there for a south throw.
A nice little recovery there from Quayle, who seemed to be done all ends up by the Dwayne pipe, Dwayne Walsh, but certainly recovered well just there.
Big Grunwald gets on the ball. A former luminary of this commentary box, Damien Gill, just suggesting that the Zebras kit looking a bit like a box of barbecue shapes, as this one's chipped over the top in the Walter direction as he tries to get on the end of that one, chests it down to Mercury. And he'll pick this one up and settle things down a little bit.
You'd almost think that they could be the Tilford Hobart Bickies today.
I think it just, are we talking the old shapes or the new shapes? There's a clear difference. Which one will we get from the Zebs today?
I prefer the old shapes
definitely
up
old.
here.
Definitely old. None of this new nonsense.
It's not a question, really, that one, I don't think, Corley.
As this one's down the line in the Walter direction. Jaden Hay marking him tightly. The Jari Sculthorpe is lining up in the middle of the front three today for South Hobart as Quayle prepping the long throw into the near post here. Pajari the target. He's sandwiched between a couple of Zebras. Quayle heads it down away by Muller. Ludlow tracking this one away, and Quayle, who's been heavily involved in the opening couple of minutes. Nick Morton dropping extremely deep to take the ball here and looks to get them started. He's got a few options, opts for the diagonal, and Walter in a one-on-one running at Jaden Hay. He jinks one way then the other. Hay sticking tight to him. Muller gets a foot in, and they've done well to force the turnover. And well done Morton, because they were just looking like they might break with a few there, the Zebras, but got a crucial foot in.
Well, really looking forward to this battle today between Walters and Hay. I think this is going to be absolutely crucial to which way this game's going. It's a beautiful little ball there's played just into Morton, but he cannot control it, and the ball just flicks away for the goal kick. Starting to turn the levers a little bit around here on this left-hand side, a bit south, so Jaden Hay should have a very busy day.
We're certainly seeing Nick Morton covering plenty of ground there. We've seen him in his own D, and then we've seen him pop up on the left wing for an attack. He's certainly clearly got the licence to play that box-to-box role and pretty much go where he pleases, so that'll be an interesting aspect to see how the Zebras contain that throughout the game. As you see Jaden Hay on the ball, looking forward to Dwayne Walsh, but out-headed there by Quayle, with Hoogsloot trying to get the return ball. Bit of a scrap down here, but we can see ball played forward there. And Hoogsloot with the step over. That's a bit of a hug there, and it is finally given. A little bit in the back there. You can't quite get both arms around. Nothing too much.
Certainly not a free, but the frees more come from Sculthorpe attempting to evade there than any attempt to foul. So good sensible refereeing to just give the free kick there. As Hay looks over the ball and looks to lump it forward, as the Zebras love to do. Smashed into the box, Hoogsloot the target. Just headed away there by Turner. The ball doesn't quite clear though, and the header from Grunwald, it looks like, is just cleared up and away there by Brown.
And Kieran Brown assuming the number one goalkeeping duties following the departure of the Scotsman Graham Wright, and has done a pretty good job in net so far this season for South Hobart. Looks a very capable young keeper as Hay looks to surge forward, worked it to Hughes, Downs with the release looking for McEwen, who gets a head to it and nods it over the top.
Yeah, he just appeared to get a little bit under that one.
To surge forward, worked it to Hughes, Downs with the release looking for McEwen, who gets it.
Perhaps with just a little bit less trajectory on that one, it could have fallen nicely for Sunday McEwen, but nothing doing there for the Zebras, and a poor goal kick from Brown there, and just seen the foul from Turner on one of the Zebras players who I couldn't quite catch a glimpse of. But very threatening position here for the Zebras, and I think we're going to see Downs over the top of this one looking for the big head of Hoogsloot or Grunwald.
Yeah, it's certainly in the right range here for Chris Downs, probably the premier free kick taker in the league. I'm not There was a little bit of a foul there, quite similar to the one earlier, so I guess on the pattern of play you've got to give it.
There wasn't a lot in that one on Sunday, McEwen, but he certainly made the most of it.
No, but with Zebra's tall timber pushed up here, we're hoping for a very good delivery here from Downs as he stands over the ball. Hand in the air, whipped in by Downs. Look for that. Brown punches expertly there to take it off the head of Grunwald out for a corner. If very good fist to those. Grunwald was right underneath him by the looks of it.
That is very, very good keeping, because when you have a ball that could be creeping into the far post and equally the chance that a player could nip in front of you and slot it at your near, it's all kinds of worries for defences there. So fantastic work from the goalkeeper in Brown.
He'll be happy to assert his dominance over the 6-yard box so early in the contest, as we see another ball from the corner there, whipped in near post and flicked away there from Brown. I think that was getting out for another corner.
Big Thomas rising up to deal with it.
Thomas, my apologies.
And he's just been absolutely cleaned up here and could potentially be out cold. I've not seen any movement here.
Oh, yeah, Sunday's gone flying in for the header at the back post and absolutely clattered him. Both eyes on the ball from both players there as they've gone in for the header. No, I don't think there's any malice in it, but he's certainly taken quite the hit to the head there from Sunday McEwen.
Big Dogger Brown is not the sort of bloke to stay down either, which makes this all the more worrying for the South fans at the moment. So certainly a big imposing unit of a player. When he cops one and stays down, you know that he's certainly felt it. So hopefully we'll be seeing Dogger Brown up in action again soon, but very, very, very worrying signs with the head injury and potential for concussion here for the Souths.
Yeah, we see Thomas with the header there. Sunday was lurking behind and elbow. I think that's the elbow right to the face there of Dogger Brown.
Really wasn't anywhere near the ball either.
Yeah, you could certainly see he was aiming for the header. It's just that height of Thomas is probably going to flick it away 99 times out of 100. But good to see Dogger Brown back up and mobile there. We'll see, hopefully this doesn't have too much of an impact for the corner, or he can be led on before it's retaken.
And aside from the injury there, boys, I was very impressed by Pajari Sculthorpe's header away, because that was another very threatening ball for the Zebras. They just look to put in the corner again, down to 10 at the moment, South. Grunwald tries to get up there with the header. It just falls again to Downs, who puts it across the face, but cleared away by Morton. Only as far as the Dwayne pipe though. Looks to just lump it straight back in forward to Lukey Hooks. Luke gets a great header across with Hay lurking, but really, really well defended there by Liam Quayle.
Yeah, great cover defence there from your fullback. It's what you want, especially after the flick on header there from Hughesloot. He's covered across rather well.
So Sanders with a chance to swing one in. Zebras on top of this contest in the early going, just chipping it into the box, looking to get at them exactly how they did in the last meeting between the teams. Sanders, the Colonel, to the near post, away by Kobe Kemp. And they should be able to clear this one. They'll be hoping Brown can get back out there. Sanders with a chance to swing another one in near post. Again, that's Kemp clearing. Looks like he's slotted into centre back while Brown is off the pitch, and that's probably the most logical replacement for the time being with Ludford out. Kemp more than capable of slotting in at centre half, and certainly very comfortable there. But Brown is back on the pitch now to a warm reception from the Darcy Street crowd, and heaven knows we need something warm here because it's bloody cold as this one goes over the line.
Yeah, I've pulled out the thermals today, boys. I'm all kinds of rugged up.
Yeah, I'm debuting the winter coat for the first time this year, so it's it's a cold one here.
We won't be seeing a cold match out there on the pitch. Plenty of fire, plenty of anger.
Yeah, not a lot of love between these two sets of players, and it should be quite a physical contest. Sanders wins the header away from Thomas, down scrapping up against Ludlow, who just shields him from it. Hughesloot was trying to swoop in behind, but Ludlow did really well. Got to Kemp, who releases down the line, and Gronwald across to deal with that, and he's going to win a throw in, and it'll go their way.
Quite fortuitous there for Grunwald. He did seem to hack away at the clearance a little bit there, but just took a little flick off turner before falling out. Ball just gets going again, looking as usual for the big head of Luke Hugsloot. Ball's just tapped in over the top to a Sculthorpe looking to try and get in behind the lines, but really, really well shielded there from Nicholas Grunwald. Gave him not even a sniff of the ball there.
That's his experience and class of Grunwald coming into effect there. I mean, it's probably not too much of a stretch to say he's probably the best import in the league this year. There's a few out there, but that dominating presence in the back there certainly helps Zebras to get where they are as we see them launch it
I
forward.
think I'm going to have to say we're going to need our thinking caps on today, as the old teachers would say, because we're yet to give Big Grunwald a nickname, and he's certainly been dominating the league, and he's certainly earned one at this stage. So, as old Mrs. Mack would say, boys, thinking caps on.
There's the Warthog Morton, a man with a nickname, chips it down the line with a searching ball, but it's going to spill out the play. One of the imposing centre half from Chicago. But, I think it's he and Schlenage. I'm told it's pronounced. I've been corrected on that one. The Premier reports this season. He helped himself to another hat-trick as Olympia took a win yesterday. Kenny
9
Weston,
goals in his last 2 games.
something absurd like that. They started off the Kenny Weston era at Olympia with a win, as did the Devonport Strikers, the 2 teams above these two, as Sanders flicks on, looking for McEwen. Gorry tracking him. McEwen's got the goal side, and he turns on the left foot. McEwen fires straight at Brown, who stood up well and saved it at either side of him. And that was 1-0. Big moment in the match there, boys.
And you really think that after all of his fantastic work to get into that position, that Sunday McEwen probably should have scored just there. And the near post for him was gaping, but
I think he's into that. Strikes me as a shot where you're in two minds. We can both see on the replay, obviously, that nice little slot there in the bottom left-hand corner, which is where I would have thought he's predicted, and then he thought, oh, maybe I'll go far post, and just ended up hitting it straight at the keeper.
Fantastic keeping from Brown to stay big and stay up, just to cover that, the right-hand angle, but really gaping there for the Zebras.
See Jaden Hay launch that one into the box, but effectively cleared there from the Morthog. Aerial challenge again. We see Sunday McKeon chesting it down, but surrounded by 4 Zebras players. But Hugesloot ends up with it, back out to Hay. An Ibrahimovic style flick there from Hugesloot. The shot from Grunwald blocked there, and then, as we can tell by the crowd reaction there, an unnecessary corner given away there from Kieran Brown there in goals.
Bit sloppy.
I think he'd be pretty happy to forget that one pretty quickly, old Kieran Brown, but after making such a beautiful save, you don't want to give away cheap corners like this that can make your team concede the opening goal. But he's been in good form early, so hopefully he can rectify his mistake just here.
Oh, nearly comes back. Grunwald screaming for a penalty, nothing doing.
Yeah, I really don't think that there was a handball in there. Certainly big shout coming from the Zebras fans, but I hit Dogger Brown fair in the gut, so certainly no penalty off one of them.
That is a demonstration of why you can't go giving cheap corners away to this Zebras team. Of all the teams in the league, they are the ones who are most likely to punish you, as Ludlow picks it up. And a chance for a break here. He goes for the direct option, chips it over the top into the path of Walter, and looks to surge past Lewis. He drives in near post. Lewis did really well though. Just forced him wide. It was good defending. And then Warrener gets a foot in, and they should see this away. Deflects off Lewis and out of play, but some nice work there from the other half of a very imposing central defensive pairing of the Zebras.
Yeah, just great positioning from Sir Vivian Richards-Lewis there. He was just alert to the danger of Walters, and there was a beautiful ball in behind too, so really crucial intervention right there to quickly snuff out the threat. Just one thing that I've noticed about this Zebras side is how willing they are for Grunwald to take all of these dead ball situations, which might often usually go to a goalkeeper. But it's certainly proving quite effective for them when you have distribution as effective as that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Sanders competing there with Thomas, who saw it away from him. Muller heads it forward. Hugesloot flicked into the path of McEwen, but Caleb Ludlow doing plenty of good work early in this one. Tracked it back well. South committed to playing out from the back here, and storming out of defence is Brown. He's passed the left, a lot to be desired though. Straight to Jaden Hay. He pounced on it, gave it to the Dwayne Pipe. That deflects into the path of Sanders. Between them, Thomas and Morton conspire to see it away from him, and now Walter on the ball lays it back to the Morthog, who's been very deep in the early going in this one.
Certainly been very surprised by that, because he's someone who does some very good work in advanced areas, Nick Morton. As we mentioned just in the pre-game, he's certainly got to. We're just seeing a break here from South Hobart, and it falls out wide to Gorry, who looks to play it into Kemp, but well cleared away by Imran Lewis, who's having a fine game early on.
Yeah, he's certainly showing all his class, especially the last 5 minutes here. Imran Richards Lewis. I think that's to give him his full proper title. playing some great cover defence, and I agree about the Warthogs. We see a bit of a lazy touchback there from the throw-in. I certainly agree with Warthog. He's playing very deep. I'm not sure if that's an instruction of, I guess, with Jack Turner just appearing on to play him in a more advanced role, with Morton a bit more familiar with the system, playing him deep. But it's very interesting from someone who's typically been a star striker in previous years.
As Turner lays it back to the Warthog. Worked away by Ludlow in the Gorrie direction. He picks it up. Hughes-Lute across to deal with him.
And it's what old Lukey Hughes-Lute will offer you. Always willing to close down players and jump in with an imposing challenge, and we certainly love his style of play up here. Slice of cheese, some more than others. Certainly this man in the middle.
Oh, he's got a 20-metre radius. Don't try and get around him, mate. I hope the South Hobart players are aware of that.
Gangliest legs in the NPL, I'd say.
Probably.
Such coordination for a bloke with gangly legs, that's for sure.
He knows what to do with them. As he picks up seam on the ball here, and a nice touch there to Sunday, but slightly miscontrols. We see Turner and Morton letting him run into each other, but they've still ended up with the ball there as Gorrie has it on the right wing, looking forward to the new man Sculthorpe, but nicely taken it from McCurry, I think is the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, McCurry.
He's got this one here, and he heaves it long in the Hughes-Lute direction, gets up. Thomas tracking this one back. But, Zebras in their familiar game plan, just knocking it onto the head of Hoogs, and effective so far. Ludlow into the back of Downs. Now Walsh dueling with Quayle, so they about have the numbers here, and the Warthog again picks it up in the middle of the park, waits for an option to present itself, and then puts it behind Gorrie and turns it over.
And raises his hand immediately and say, my fault. But, I do concur from the Zebras, 18 minutes in, and again, same style there of looking for Hughes-Lute.
You'd have to say that they've looked the better team so far, the Zebras. Their style certainly carrying a threat at the moment, whereas the imposing central defensive partnership of Lewis and Grunwald is really keeping out this South Hobart style of play that places a heavy emphasis on passing the ball.
I do wonder if Morton playing the deepest of the roles as he sets this one for Mercury to clean up at the back. I just wonder if he's back there to try and negate the aerial threat of Hughes-Lute, a bit similar to what we saw Cartwright lining up for the Warriors the other day, just dropping that big body midfielder in, just so when they do go direct, you've got another midfielder to line up on him, whereas maybe a Kemp or a Ludlow don't quite have that aerial presence. It's very nicely done at the back there for South Hobart, and they'll play it back to Brown.
And you see Brown playing it back to Dogger Brown, looking forward. We'll find Morton again, looking to play it out from the back. We see it on the wing out to Walter. Looks inside, plays the 1-2, but just slightly overhit there for the return pass. I'm certainly going to keep an eye out for that Morton v Hughes-Lute battle as we see them sort of manning up right now, actually. Very good spot there from Mr. Morgan with my pole in the way, and there is Nick Morton winning that header.
Fantastic call there from Andrew Calling, because that is exactly what we've seen early on here. It is Nick Morton who is often going body to body with Hughes-Lute while they do not have the ball, South Hobart, but certainly willing to get free and work hard when South do have the ball, Morton. Really interesting decision, I think, that one from Kenny Morton, and probably a very sensible one with the aerial threat. Just as Jaden Hay looks to get inside now, and Dwayne Walsh kicks into, but cleared away by Liam Quayle as the ball falls again for the Zebras, and Hughes-Lute just lofts it over the top to nobody in particular.
See Jack Turner picking the ball up with a fair few South Hobart runners streaming forward, but nicely cut out from Grunwald. We see Ludlow and Sunday, bit of a contest there. I'd say that is a foul. He wasn't all in the back of him there, especially would have been a little bit of a head knock there. They've played it quickly to Turner. Just standing on, Gorrie, my apologies, and plays it back to Ludlow. Battles with Hughes-Lute, and Hughes-Lute's height and strength there wins out nicely. He plays the nice through ball to Dwayne Walsh, but just cut out in time.
And that
there
is
by Quayle.
What you call wonderful covering from your left back, I would say, because they were in all kinds of trouble here if Quayle didn't intervene. We just look at that glorious ball there from Lukey Hughes-Lute, and that is a magnificent covering challenge.
Yeah, as we can see, Hughes-Lute there pretty much creating that chance single-handedly there. He's knocked Ludlow off the ball, spun, turn, and then gone to play that delicious through ball, which it wasn't for. As you say, Jake Morgan, that great left-back covering would for all money have been a great goal, or at least a shot on goal. As you see the long throw-in launched in there from Warrener, but just a bit short of Hughes-Lute. Really keep it in. He does decide to keep it in and whip the ball in, deflects to Hughes-Lute, just intercepted there
lovely
from South
play.
Hobart, and they look to counter-attack. The ball placed well and in front there. I think that's of Alex Walter streaming forward there, looking to beat Jaden Hay, but that's strength again, and great tracking back from Jaden Hay. Thumps the ball forward to Quayle. We see Jack Turner chesting, using that strength again. And I think eventually just takes it out himself and does. I thought that might have been touch from the Zebras player, but that through ball run and defence there was fantastic.
Just certainly gave the ball a whack away there that in some circumstances could constitute our first slice of cheese of the day, but nothing doing from the referee. Good to see Walter getting onto the ball. Turner passes it straight back to Walter. Just misplaces his pass a little bit to Oscar Thomas, but cleaned up by Kieran Brown. Brown just settling over the ball now, passes to Dogger Brown.
It's important to distinguish those two. As we see Alex Walter there looking to play the raking through ball. Grunwald's probably going to head that out 99 times of 100. Morton picks it up. Out to Adam Gorry. He's got a little bit of time here. Looks to play it forward in the direction of Turner, but nicely headed out from Sir Vivian. Morton again directing traffic. Just plays it short. Looking for back out to Gorry. Back to Morton. Just slightly overhit, but the deflection seems to have gone straight there. We've got an air swing, a trip, and told to get up. Well, there's a series of rather incidents there, one by one, that all happened very quickly. I'm not sure if either was a penalty. But
I am a Souths fan, but I do have to say very good refereeing from the referee right there, because certainly that first shout from the South fans was no penalty with the handball. It's in a very, very natural position, his arm, and hit him very, very high up there. So good to see the referee not giving away anything too silly just early here, and we'll have another look at it. The ball's just
he's
bubbling around.
He's thumped it into his own player. His arm's by his side, and it's just hit him there. And then see, that's an air swing, and that's a trip over himself.
Yeah, great refereeing. Despite the ground announcer here getting a little bit carried away.
Seeing Walter in a heap of space down on this left-hand side. He's picked out by Morton. Looks to Jink inside. Plays the ball short to Sculthorpe, who plays Walter in. And he just went the chip finish over the top there, expecting the keeper to drop himself down when perhaps the near post was aping for him really there. Probably South's best chance of the match there, and fantastic play from Pajari, Sculthorpe and Walter just there.
I'd certainly say they're definitely their best chance of the game. Just seemed a bit indecisive about which foot to take it with. It was kind of a left foot chip or a right foot toe poke. It just ended up being a bit under hit there, which made Mercury could pick it up.
Really
Nice
good keeping, I have to say, because he certainly didn't go down too early, because if he had, that finish would have just slotted in over the top of him.
Similar to before with Brown, keepers standing tall and keeping this game deadlocked after nearly 24 minutes. So you see Zebras on the ball with Warren and shut down for the throw in. Gilthead's chance there from South Hobart. Nice interplay and probably the most clear-cut chance of the match.
Just have another look at it, and a beautiful 1-2 there between Walter and Pajari Sculthorpe, but just not quite going with the right finish there. Fantastic keeping, you do have to say, because he stayed up and picked the right direction.
I reckon if he's on his right foot, he goes for a bit more power, as this one's worked forward. McEwen there, the Malt Hog away. Smashes away, but really enjoying this battle on the near side to us between Jaden Hay and Alex Walter, two of the very best players in the competition going head to head. And certainly South Hobart looking to feed Walter again to run at him, and just got him behind that time with some help from Pajari Sculthorpe, and that's what they want the young centre forward to do, to play that link-up role that perhaps they've lacked with Lazinski out this season, as Lewis carries forward. Will cut out there by Walter.
You have to say that does have a bit to do with Sculthorpe's pressure. So this looks to be played in over the top, but the ball from either Kemp or Walter wasn't quite good enough. Feed away from Mercury to Jaden Hay, who looks for the Dwayne pipe. Just bullied off the ball really by the smaller Quayle. Love to see that from the young man.
Yeah, it's great hustle there from Quayle, just to get the ball from behind the player, not commit a foul, but just pinch it off between his legs.
That's late.
We see hugely a late sliding tackle, and that is the first slice of cheese for the day, and Morton is still down after that one.
Yeah, it's certainly a slice of cheese, that one. It was a very, very late challenge there from Lukey Hughes-Lute. And we certainly, if you're a Zebras fan, you wouldn't want to be seeing him getting another one there today, but First slice of cheese comes out, and the first slice of cheese is very deserved, I would say. That is a very aged, dark old cheese, that one,
I would say that is a very matured cheese.
Yeah, very aged cheddar.
Very, very aged cheddar. A good 3 years plus on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon that's one of those orange kind of cheeses. You're getting near a red with that.
Cheeto style.
This one's lopped forward. Hay and Walter again there, and Hay thinks he'll just put that one behind and not take any chances. So a corner for South Hobart here, a chance to bring the tall timber forwards.
Certainly one of those situations where it's when in doubt, even if it's a little bit of a softer hit away, but certainly the right decision there from Jaden Hay with Walter lurking in behind.
Yeah, he didn't want to go taking a touch. It gives Kobe Kemp the chance to swing something in here. He's a fine set-piece delivery. He curls this one in near post and straight down the throat of Mercury there. Clean pair of hands. He's got nobody up front at all because all 11 bodies were back in the box defending, so just delays a little before getting it to the big man from Chicago. Warren works it for McEwen, just a bit too far ahead of him, and Thomas is across to clear into touch there.
It was interesting with Zebras having not a single player with just upfield. I mean, they hadn't left one up. They hadn't even had one on the D. There was absolutely no one for Mercury to go to there. The quick counter was on, so it's I wonder if that'll...
Always been the sort of team where the defence takes precedence, isn't that right?
Absolutely. It's a bit of Savalology there, just keeping all 11 back.
Savalology, I like that one. Certainly coined a new phrase there.
He just builds from the back. Defence first, no chances taken in your defensive half. Don't concede, then we can worry about scoring goals. Very effective method.
You certainly need a solid base to build from, and Peter Saville is the kind of bloke who will provide that for you.
So, he returns, of course, to his former haunt, an assistant here to Ken Morton for a number of years, and has had the wood over Morton in their head-to-head duels over the past 18 months. And can his team deny South Hobart again today? Morton smashes it forward. No one really home there except for Jaden Hay. He heads it away. Well done there to get it to Turner. Across now to Gorry. Looks up, there's a few in the box and slides it down the line in front of Turner, who just lets it run too far ahead of him. Just a bit too casual there from Jackie Turner.
And he had 4 bodies in the box, so it's a little bit disappointing, you have to say, that he's let that one run, because South were queuing up, and if he'd have taken it a little bit earlier, they could have really carried a goal threat right there.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit of an interesting way to attack the ball there from Jack Turner, but...
that's just the little bit extra moisture on the pitch there, allowing the ball to skid away from him.
I think he'll appreciate that excuse there. Jake Walters, we see Zebras in attack. Great ball through to Walsh. He just needs to chip it over the keeper, and he does. Expert finish there.
That's an own goal, I think, was it?
I'm going to tip Dwayne Walsh for that one. He got just the wrong side there of Quayle and got in front of the keeper, and a nice little right foot finish with the laces there just to get it past. It was a blistering counter attack there from the Zebras.
It's all happened so quickly, it's passed us by. That's just absolutely incredible counter-attacking pace there from the Zebras, which is not something that they're usually typified for. I
mean, as we see that from Sal, we've got huge sloop with the header, and then that through ball, I think that's Sanders, and he's until Dwayne Walsh.
That's an own goal, I reckon.
I think you're right, so
Liam Quayle, I initially thought had gotten a really good challenge in there to get it away from the Dwayne pipe, but it certainly seemed like maybe it was just his left-footed clearance that's put it in the back of his own net, but really there wasn't anything else that Liam Quayle could do there, because if he hadn't made the challenge, Dwayne Walsh would have slotted that. So it'd be interesting to see in that replay a little bit later on to just absolutely confirm who got the last touch on that, because we didn't have the most fantastic view of it as a ball. Just looking in over the top there for Sculthorpe and carrying a bit of a threat there, the South boys, but
I think you're just letting your bias get in there, Ash, as he fixes that one up there, giving Liam Quayle the goal, an own goal against Quayle. Just the South Hobart bias coming through there, I think, a little bit, Wilksy, because this one is for the Turner. Kurt Whale, who scored that own goal, smashes one well wide and not very pretty. So Zebras with the lead, and they're a very hard side to break down.
I do have to say that is not a horrible own goal as far as they come. There's really nothing else that the young lad can do there, so
it's not one that's going to end up
him much stick.
It's not going to end up on the blooper reel type own goal. He's got to make a play at that, because it's on the penalty spot. Dwayne Walsh is right there on his case. He has to make a play of the ball, and sometimes it just come off the wrong bit of the shin pad or the ankle and can trickle in.
Not to mention the fact that if he was attacking, that's a tidy finish.
But he
a
wasn't.
slight distinction there that he was not attacking.
At an 80-metre difference on the pitch there, Bob.
Tidy finish for an own goal, though.
See Warrener trotting out there for another long throw in from Zebras. Possibly a short option to Sunday, and actually goes there. Adam McEwen with the touch. Looks to jink past. I think that's well defended there.
Yeah, Gorry just got a little bit of a touch there as Warrener looked to jink around him. But another set piece that the South boys have to defend here. And you have to say that they've been under siege for certain parts of this game from this set piece delivery as Downs looks to get over the ball. And he looks threatening, as he always does.
Yeah, he's got just a nice bit of breeze curling this one towards the goal to work with. The tall timber's up. Downs curling into the 6-yard box. Up powerfully was Brown away. Muller back to Downs, and he'll get another chance to send one in. Does so on the volley with a curl into the back post. Hughesloot was there. The cavalry was arriving. Brown did well in the end, and they're coming together. A couple of bodies down there. Getting back up.
Did very, very well to tip that away, actually, in the sea of bodies down there, Brown. So, really good keeping.
Jeez, the wind's getting up here.
Yeah, it's starting to...
Great strong keeping there from Brown. He's got 4 players underneath, 2 of his own, two Zebras. Hughesloot's gone into the frame of the goal there. Might be a bit of a sore back for the man.
Just seeing this breeze that Andrew Cooling mentioned just start to pick up here. And you have to think that it's flowing in the direction of the Zebras, and with their long ball style, it could potentially really be of assistance for this last 13 minutes of this half as Nick Morton gets himself into trouble, and the ball flows to Brown. Was it Brown? No.
Downs,
Rather,
I think.
it's fallen to Downs, who just cannot get a decent contact on the ball.
His eyes lit up there with the prospect of all that space 30 yards out. See Brown with the kick, and I think that might have been the win there in
we're
action.
Just starting to see the breeze come into play, and you would have had fantastic view of that from our wonderful camera lady.
It just seemed to take it a bit towards the south bench there.
So we just have a look at this Downs chance again. Really didn't quite get the right connection, even though the ball did sit up fairly nicely for him there.
Nice bit of pitch here for Jaden Hay on the throw-ins today after his KGV, which was certainly a bit shorter in the fence there. So he's got a nice big run up here today at South Hobart.
Very good
I
exponent.
want to see the forward roll and throw that we see from certain individuals.
Yeah, I'd like a bit of that in the NPL. As
he's
Hughes
launched
the
it,
target. It's gone over his head in the Morton direction. Downs first time. Smashed it well over the top.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a chance there for Downs to try and get a strike on first time, but certainly couldn't keep it down. Very, very hard chance those ones to take on the half volley.
I mean, if you've watched any of the Zebras games before, you know Jaden Hay is a great exponent of the long throw, but he has absolutely launched that into near the penalty spot off a 3-step run-up, which I think is quite impressive. So you see the goal
20 metre throw almost, that one.
Yeah.
Launched.
So I think the goal kick having to be retaken. I don't think it left the box. Which is
Pedantry.
another one of those small laws in football that can go away. Like the kickoff one, which actually has gone.
Yeah, well, could learn a thing or two from that.
See Brown with the launching it forward, but straight on the head of Jaden Hay, plays it forward to the Colonel, looks at the through ball there for Hughesloot. Look at that, the Hughesloot long legs winning that and then effectively cleared from South, but there's another little half chance there for Zebras.
Just lost track of the ball a little bit after this challenge here, Hughesloot, which allowed Brown to get in behind and clear it away.
Well done, Oscar Thomas, initially too. Both centre-backs making important interventions there.
The ball's just swept into the box by Warrener, looking for the head of Lukey Hughesloot. Just curling back away from the target, which didn't really help him out too much there, Luke Hughesloot. He's carrying a threat in that box, as you would expect for this Zebras side.
And trying to target him every chance they get. The big battering ram up top.
Peter Crouch with coordination.
Crouch, you can do the robot. Come on, that's a bit harsh on him. See Sanders up on the ball, plays it back to Downs, looking in the direction of Sunday. Nice chest there. He's got Sanders on the overlap, but good tackle from Gorry. Just gets in the nick of time. See Downs on the ball, looking wide to Hay. Picks it up, plays it forward to the Dwayne Pipe. It's a one-on-one with Quayle again, and Quayle sliding in with the effective clearance, and another prospect of a Jaden Hay throw in.
He's actually had a marvellous game for a bloke who's scored an own goal Quayle, you have to say, because he's been very, very busy on this left-hand side, and Dwayne Walsh is certainly carrying a threat for him. But it's not often that you say that, really.
Yeah, I was thinking the last time someone who's scored an own goal has been best on.
As Jaden Hay preps another one of his customary heaves into the area. Again, Hughes slit the target. He's got 2 South defenders on top of him. Stepping in there was Kemp, seen away to Hay. He looks it back into the middle of the park. Just has to track it back, Muller. Walsh now punches it forward first time, and Brown should deal with this. They can trust the service here at Darcy Street. Now, a couple of months later, if there's mud in there, maybe not, but a very slick-looking pitch, this one. They've done great work keeping it maintained.
With the style that they play, Kenny Morton would put a bit of an emphasis on it too.
Yeah.
I think if there's one person who will harass the council on a Monday to get this pitch perfect, it'll be Ken Morton. Any of these marginal gains up here in South Hobart at Darcy Street.
And it's good to see, isn't it, at this level, because we want it to be the best quality that it can be, and people like Ken Morton certainly help towards achieving that goal.
He's in the middle. It's played forward by Turner to Morton. About the most advanced he's been in this half. Warner steers it away from him, puts it behind, and through 36 minutes, the Zebras would be pretty happy with how this game's developed. They've been on top. South Hobart struggling to get a bit of a foothold in it. And that one chance from Walter, but apart from that, the Zebras have been in control and looked the sharper of the two sides so far in this massive round 8 game even.
I thought you were saying this massive round. Second there, Cooley.
Nah, not quite, as this one's worked forward.
Devonport's favourite one.
Oh, speaking of Devonport's favourite, there's Adam Gorry. Works it into the middle for Kobe Kemp. Cross to Quayle. Isn't anyone really down the line. Walter goes there now and tries to shrug off the attention of Hay. Played it forward for the overlapping Quayle, who does really well to get around Walsh, and then gets around Muller and crosses it in, and Groenwald was there and dealt with it nicely, the big centre half.
No, the crowd appealing for that handball with some vigour. I'm not sure how much was in it, but Quayle has absolutely fired that into.
I've even heard a couple of boos in the crowd right there with that decision, and
pretty sure
I certainly love to hear it.
I think he's kneed that onto his chest, but anyway.
If there's 300 people there's 150 eyes on that decision, let's be honest. As the throw going to be taken.
That is a wonderful call, Andrew. Calling very subtle, and I'm not allowing it to be missed. Marvellous commentary.
That's why we pay him the big bucks here, Morton.
Yeah, that's it. The number 1 seed.
Brown to the Warthog Morton. He charges forward. Sculthorpe just tracked it down again. Groenwald with his positioning spot on. And both centre-backs for Zebras have been perfect through 40 minutes.
Yeah, the
Hold it there, boys. half-time break. We have going to half-time. Zebras 1, South Hobart 0.
Check. Fuck. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2.
Against any other team that attack down our side here, South Hobart, and destroy a few other defences, would pay him, Lewis.
So who wants to talk? I can only do 2.
What? You only do 2?
Can I do 2 now? Right, so...
Players warming up, so ambitious. Reminding Sav you actually exist.
I'm a big fan of the sub.
Yeah. Just that nice impact 70th minute sub.
I remember a game here last year between Devonport and South Hobart. Braden
Check,
Mann
check,
had one
check,
leg. He
1,
was
2.
hobbling about trying to get subbed off like last 20 minutes. Every time he's sitting on the bench, Sav's like, "You're staying on." Played out the 90. Could not
Check,
move
check,
by the end
1,
of it.
2.
Sav's like, "Nah, you're staying on."
That's great.
Unless you've got a broken leg, you've got no excuse.
Probably did.
Check,
It certainly
check.
hampered him
1,
for the next
2.
month afterwards, whatever it was. He kept picking him. There's no chance he was getting a rest. Should we do a test or?
We've got $300 worth of Avita products, which was kindly donated to us by the Savoy Day Spa. And the Savoy Day Spa is the place to go for a spa, a massage, a full range of beauty treatments. Plus, they also do gift vouchers. Maybe a good option there for Mother's Day coming up. But anyway, today's raffle, we have one of our lovely spectators, Isabel, here, who's going to draw the raffle. So get your raffle tickets out. Eyes closed there, good. Great. Okay, so we have number green A69. If you've got green A69, Tucheri Casidio. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing this. But if you have number green A69, that is the winning ticket. And go down to the canteen to claim your prize. Redraw. No. So, yes. Have we found a winner? Have we found a winner? So once again, Tucheri Cesidio, green A69 is the winner of the raffle. So go down to the kiosk and claim your prize. Otherwise, we'll give you a call.
So, back here for the second half at Darcy Street. Hobart Zebras holding sway over South Hobart. A goal to the good. We're back in commentary. Jake Morgan just causing absolute chaos, knocking the mics out and leaving you without our dulcet tones for 15 minutes there.
Absolutely not having that. Trying to throw me under the bus. I saw a group of gnomes here earlier playing about the electronics, and I'm not going to be thrown away with this. You know what? You might have said no.
So Jake continuing his battles here, had not actually turned the microphone on. He's causing pure carnage up here in the box at the moment. You've been a liability from the opening minute, Morgan. Lift your game, son. Anyway, on the pitch here, South Hobart, they're out early. They're raring to go. They're down a goal.
Burn cooling.
Well, all right, now that you've got the microphone back on, what are you expecting from this second half?
I'm just glad that there's rain falling down here at Darcy Street at the moment, because I frankly need to be cooled off after that, because it's been some pretty average stuff up here from Morgan, knocking out some cords, creating absolute carnage. So if you'll bear with us, you'll have to put up with our commentary for this second half once again. I'm sure that 10 minutes there was a brief respite for you all.
Yeah, we're back at it, and we're back out on the pitch now. Are the Zebras just held in a little longer? Saville wasn't with them though. He's out on the sideline, clearly content with the way things are going, Paul.
Or just potentially getting more used to the weather. But certainly he'd be very content with his side performance in the first half. That defensive line of Warriner, Grunwald, Lewis and Hay has been absolutely exceptional in thwarting everything South Hobart have attempted to throw at them, and I'm anticipating more this half.
And we're back underway here as Lewis leading his man to the ball and puts on out of play and puts it down there onto the netball court. He's been flawless so far, has Lewis. So Muller back to the Dwayne pipe. That's blocked by Quayle, who tried to jump on it, but Shaden Hay in close proximity.
We are seeing South attacking that down that left wing again from the start. So despite the constant repelling of the first half, it's still a plan they're going with. It's a long throw in from Hay. You see, I think that's Downs on the ball, and it is back to Warriner. Puts it forward in the general direction of the Colonel. One there by Thomas. See Huge Sloop playing it forward. A little bit scrappy to start here, but we've got Thomas on the ball who searches wide for Gorry. Keeps his head up in the direction of Turner, plays it back to Gorry, but slightly overhit there from Turner. I'd be curious to know if we see Gorry bombing on a bit more this half, just to put Zebras under a bit more pressure and try to put them on the back foot here down the wings.
And just some information coming to hand during the halftime break that might explain Jack Turner's return to the team here. Caleb Ludlow, apparently this was his last game for South Hobart before returning back to the mainland, I'm reliably informed, so maybe a chance for Turner to slot back into his midfield role, or of course Luke Farrell, an option they've got on the bench. But
Luke Farrell's actually come onto the pitch at half time. If we'll just have a look out there, the number 15, we're just seeing Zebras get away here through Jaden Hay, but has two to compete with, and that man, Luke Farrell, the Frenchman, just back to cover there.
So Ludlow is done, it would seem, for the NPL this season. Maybe he's on the flight out here. He's got the 3:30 booked and he's scooted off to the airport. He's put in 45 minutes and he said, all right, I'm out of here.
Every potential that he is on that 3 p.m. flight, because he is officially gone here, just as the Dwayne pipe looks to swing it in for the Zebras, but nothing doing. Just flicks off the South player for a corner for the boys. And I think we all know who we'll be seeing over the top of this one.
Yeah, from this side, the Colonel taking at his left foot. They got the little fitty split going on between Downsy and the Colonel. Jordan Muller and Ake is the space at the top of the box if they want to mix things up, but I don't think there's too much threat of that. And indeed, he swings this one in the middle of the box in the Hughes Sloop direction, and in the back of the net it goes. 2-0 Zebras. I think it's Lukey Huxley who's nodded that one home.
Yeah, wonderful ball in there from Sanders. It's right in the mixer there. Crowd of players, but Huxley barges his way through. The glancing header in the back corner, and look, that's been a threat all day, all season, and once again, Hughie with the goal.
Yeah, and it just surprised me there because we all expected to see Downs over this set piece here, but it's taken by the Colonel Sanders, and wasn't it a zinging delivery into the box right there, and a nice little nod home there from Lukey Huxley to really put South under the pressure now if they're to get anything from this game. Look to move it on quickly. Falls to Turner, but nothing doing again. Cleared away by Grunwald. Dogger Brown takes possession of the ball and just drops it short to Loic Farrell, who's come onto the pitch. Plays it forward to Walters, who plays off a nice little pass to Kemp. He's got Sculthorpe on the overlap. He goes to him, but just read beautifully by Lewis, and hasn't he had him in his back pocket all game today? Zebras just look to nip in here and pinch the ball, but South maintain possession once again. Looking to Nick Morton, who just heads it on. Cleared away, and Dwayne Walsh coming back from an offside position as Sunday McEwen launches what I think was a shot, but just ends up 90 degrees off the other side of the pitch really there. South look to get it moving again through Walter. Looks inside to the Morthog, who just taps it back to Farrell, who lumps it forward to Pajari Sculthorpe, but again, just worn like a glove by Imran Lewis, and hasn't he been spectacular today?
And outstanding at the back, Suviv. And Zebras now with a 2-goal lead. They've been pretty secure in leads this season. They're a tough team to track down, and a real mountain to climb for South Hobart here is again the aerial threat bringing them undone. It was that man Huxley with the goal. He's passing, leaving a little to be desired there, but Warrener swoops on it and punches it along in the Colonel direction. Supplied the ammunition for that goal with a well-taken corner. And it's just rinse and repeat this season for the Zebras. No one can handle them, and Huxley puts that one out of play.
Yeah, sliding in from Huxley, had to get that right, being on that yellow card from the late challenge before. Just noticed that substitution at half-time of Loic Farrell for Ludlow. It appears he's sort of playing where Morton was in the first half, and Morton hasn't seemed to have pushed up either, so there's certainly Coach Ken looking to solidify that kind of central midfield area, maybe giving licence for Turner to bomb on a bit more, but it's interesting change there from South.
Well, they had to do something, and unfortunately the Sheds have conceded immediately, which does make it very hard. We'll get the scoreboard updated here in a second if we can. 2-0 the score here in favour of the Zebras. If you're just tuning in, Luke Huxley scoring moments into the second half and has given them a comfortable buffer here as again the direct approach has yielded dividends for the Zebras. You can't argue with the effect as this one's crossed dangerously to the back post. Sculthorpe tracking that one, but Warrener saw it away. His clearance went straight to Morton, who gets around Downs, and McEwen has fouled him just outside the box in the estimation of the referee, and a free kick blown. And just outside, I reckon that's the right call. That's the right call.
That is a marvellous call from the referee right there, and I have to immediately get around this because under the pressure from the home fans there, you are always liable to potentially give the wrong penalty, but that has just happened just about a foot outside of the box there, so a free kick in a very threatening position for South here, and you're looking like Kemp could be over the ball here, or perhaps even Liam Quayle.
Well, Quayle very ambidextrous, so they might fancy his left foot, even though Kemp's probably the noted free kick taker. He runs over the top and they go the rehearsed set piece and leads to a shot from Gorry at the top of the box that was charged down, and then Quayle heads it off Muller and will get the throw in.
I just really think that is an unnecessary ball to play when you have a free shot in a situation like that.
Oh,
it's being a little bit soft today on the foul throws, potentially with the loop and spin that we saw on that ball. But again, we're not too fond of pedantry with referees up here at Slice of Cheese.
Let them play.
Perhaps not necessarily the worst thing.
Oh, clever from
some
McEwen.
candy there
Gorry
from Sunday McEwen. Wasn't that fantastic? But he's just outnumbered by a few, but he just keeps going, and just between 5 bodies of the South players, he's ended up picking it out. Back to Sunday McEwen from Warrener, who looks to play in Dwayne Walsh. Just not quite held there either from the keeper twice. But eventually he recovers and not quite the third there for Zebras that really would have killed off this game.
Yeah, absolutely right there, Jakey Morgan. It was just a sort of very well hit shot there from Walsh and the keeper with those slippery conditions down at, I guess, what we'd call the Wellington Street end of South Hobart's ground here. As the rain teams down, it's clearly had an effect on that goalkeeping there, but Sunday's play down this left wing was absolutely magnificent. And, it's been a joy to watch all day as we see Hugesloot on the ball trying to get through there, but cut out, poked forward in the general direction of Jack Turner, who picks it up. It's absolutely swarmed by 3 Zebras players because of a loose touch there from Warren. He gets the ball back, trying to find an option, but Zebras just tracking back absolutely magnificently there, and Warner picks the ball out for a throw, and Jack Turner turns around and says, "Where are my options, boys?"
Yeah, not many presenting themselves. Get a throw though, which Gorry will take. And South Hobart need a response here early on to going down 2 goals. Luke Farrell back to Gorry, squares it for Dogger Brown. He lashes one, which is blocked by Lewis. Just stuck the foot out, deflects it wide.
That man again, Lewis, right where he needs to be. That's been a constant theme of this game.
Very confused weather day here at Darcy Street. It's pouring with rain. Glorious sunshine would be what you're seeing on the pictures. Real strange setup, this.
It is a very strange setup. I mean, we can only tell that when it's down the Zebras' left wing, that it's absolutely pouring down here. But anyway, as the toe poke through there, keeps it in play there from Lewis, clears the ball straight up the middle there, as we'll see Thomas with plenty of time on the ball to pick out a pass, looks to chip it forward, but again, Lewis with the header. Back to Brown, then out on the left wing with South Hobart. Touches the ball back, looking back in the centre towards Thomas. Look to switch the play. Gorry's in a bit of space out here. Finds him nicely. Little 1-2 there with Turner, but Sunday cuts the ball out. Hit in the back there, but play on from the referee. Nice advantage played. So we see Sunday with the ball again. Tries to turn around Morton. Bit of a scrappy contest here. Sunday in everything. Turner with the ball, looking back inside. He's got Morton free and finds him. Time to measure across here if he can get some space, and nice pace on the ball, but just a little overhit there from Morton.
Yeah, he got good purchase on that one. Couldn't pick anyone out, but from a pretty short backlift, got a fair bit of power on that cross. Yeah,
having a little bit of a decent spell here, the South boys, and they're really going to want to hit back soon, because at the moment it's really been all Zebras in terms of threat this game. Just in no hurry now either to get the game going, really, the Zebras. They certainly will be looking to take their time for the rest of this match. And you know why, being 2-0 up, playing away from home, they'll certainly be very comfortable with where things are at here. Just see Muller kick the ball over to Jaden Hay. Just lumps it long away and really not controlled by Oscar Thomas there, but he recovers well and plays off a decent pass to Loic Farrell. Ball falls to Turner. Farrell again looks to play it outside to Walter. Walter just starts to run at Hay here. Been a fantastic battle between the two of them, and it's just continuing in this second half, but really, really well done there by Jaden Hay. The support arriving from Lukey Hugesloot. Farrell nips in there and wins the ball back for South. Walter looks to play in a little pass to Pajari Sculthorpe, but well read by the Chicago kid, Nicholas Grunwald.
Here's Adam Gorry taking over on the wing. Saunters inside. Well done by McEwen, who's done some good defensive work here in this second half Sunday. He's been tireless down that flank. Oscar Thomas demanding an option. Eventually found Gorry, then Morton back to Kemp. They're continuing to pass it about here nicely, South. Gorry now with a chance to whip a ball in. He does just that. Lewis gets it stuck between his legs. Now Morton pounces and Morton hits the post. He surely had to score, the Mortog. Finds the woodwork and a real let off at the back there. A rare mistake from Sir Vivian.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Gorry there with a nice ball there, and Sir Vivian just slips over. For some reason, it was a call from the crowd of handball. I'm not sure why. Ball falls to Morton. Looking to side foot in the corner, and I mean, there's probably not too many more people in South Hobart squad you want that falling to 10 yards out, and it's just hit the post.
And he just looked to almost curl it into the far corner there, but almost got a bit too much onto it there. Unfortunately for Nick Morton, it really could have brought this game back to life, that one.
As Jacob Brennan comes on to replace Pajari Sculthorpe.
Yeah, and I think it's probably a a sensible decision there from Kenny Morton, because Pajari Sculthorpe, though he's worked very, very hard today, has probably been in the pocket of Imran Lewis today. He has been absolutely imperious, though. We did just see him make his first mistake of the game there that could have potentially let Morton get them right back into it here. So the ball just skips away, and a good imposing challenge there from Downs, and a good imposing challenge right straight back in there from Turner. He looks to spread it wide to the new Brennan on the pitch. So the ball gets played out wide to Dwayne Pipe. Going to be a battle between him and Dogger Brown. Dogger Brown was perhaps looking to just keep it in there, but when in doubt, always safer to play it out.
Just wonder if they'll regret that miss from the Warthog Morton.
You really
sliding
think,
doors moment, that one.
I'm already regretting it up here in the commentary box, because it really could have brought this game back to life, I have to say.
And both you and I tipped a 2-1 Zebras win as well, so I'm quite devastated about it as well. As we see Muller there just belting the ball into South Hobart player, but out for a throw. But it would have really brought this game to life. Not that there hasn't been any life in it for the past 60 minutes, but just would have had that nice bit of edge to the last 30 minutes of the game.
He drives the ball and lofts it forward, flicked on to Hughes-Lute up against Brown. Hughes-Lute just shields it and then crossed it. Cross for handball, play on the call. Look for
he was like a seal balancing a ball right then, Hughes-Lute. Magnificent stuff from the man.
Man or seal. As Morton is barged over there by Hughes-Lute, worked it to Sanders, flicked it onto the path of the Dwayne Pipe. McEwen was the option though, they couldn't work it to him. He was all alone in the middle. And now Brennan carries out, works it to Walter. Quick little 1-2 between them, and now the Warthogs. South Hobart looking to counter. They got plenty of numbers flooding forward if they can work it to this near side. Instead, they go straight to Jaden Hay.
Yeah, he's in an acre of space there, Gorry, but just couldn't quite get it to him. You see Sunday with a bit of a lazy clearance there, giving the ball back to Dogger Brown. You see Brennan, who's taken that position up on the left wing with Walter moving inside after that sub. And the rain gets even heavier down here at Darcy Street. I think that's certainly going to play into the hands of the Zebras as this game continues. You see the throw-in taken, flick on headers, a bit of a battle between Lewis. Clears it out, went in doubt into the hedge on the netball court there.
Well, it's an optical illusion, but it legitimately just looks like it's raining in half the ground and the other half it's not.
Yeah, there's some really interesting weather that South Hobart has pulled out for us today, because I'm just going to question you there with your call before, Paul, because I think the fact that it's just raining at the edge of the Zebras side, that it's perhaps not really going to help them very much, and it appears to be dry for the moment at the South Hobart end. It's quite crazy weather, really.
Yeah, that optical illusion fooling me as the rainbow's actually on the South Hobart end of the ground. So I got no idea what's going on.
I'm sure the viewers back home
Fortunately, we have
meteorology reports returned and you can hear us again.
No meteorologist over here. Just pure speculation, and wild speculation at that.
Hey, that's your speciality there, Jake Morgan.
A stoppage with Gronwald down on the ground. He seems to be all right though. Just eating up a little bit of time, I think.
Perfect time for the meteorology report there, Cooley.
Yeah, indeed. It's it's curious stuff.
Good to see the Chicago kid back up and moving though, because you don't want to see a player like him removed for the game. He can carry a threat at a set piece, and a very imposing defender too.
So the throw-in goes in the Hughes-Lute direction. Again, he flicks on. Farrell then. Lewis away from Walter. Only as far as the Frenchman. His pass found Morton, who hit the deck, and then McEwen lofts it long, looking for the Dwayne Pipe. Quayle had his positioning spot on though. Luke Farrell lost it out to Jordan Muller now, looking to get on the ball and charge forward. Spreads it wide for the Dwayne Pipe Walsh. He's running here at Brennan. He's got plenty in the middle if he can pick him out with a cross. He found only Dogger Brown, who repelled. Hay to Walsh, and so Hobart will see it away here through the Frenchman. He sends it to Walter, wide on the wing. Just gathers it. Now with a raking diagonal, searching for Jack Turner, but Warner was on hand to steer it away. Kobe Kemp now, dueling with his former teammate Downs. Here's Walter and the Warthog. South knocking it around nicely, but McEwen charges that one down well.
Yeah, fantastic work there from the South Hobart boys. They're really doing a good job of holding on to the ball, but holding on to the ball isn't going to win them this game at the moment. They may need to be adapting to carry a bit more of a direct threat. And there's a little bit of argy-bargy occurring down here between Sunday McEwen and Nick Morton. and they certainly don't like it, with the Chicago kid certainly not playing gangster down there. He seems to be playing peacemaker for the moment, but we just don't quite have a very good view of that one due to the South Hobart pitch side tent, unfortunately.
Of course, there was just a little bit between these two teams and a few cards in a match last year, which lives on in the memory.
Nick Morton is
it 8
certainly...
people South Hobart into that game with? Something
Nick
ridiculous
Morton's
like
certainly
that.
not the kind of bloke to take a bit of a physical challenge the right way, one could say.
Stratos just has a word with Ken Morton, and we're back with no cheddar or tomato dished out.
Tomato.
So Chicago kid just hovering over the ball, just had to go with it. I'm not sure if we're going to sit with that or not, but for now we'll run with Chicago kid, Morgs, as this one's lofted along in the Hughes Sloot direction. Gets a foot in there, deflects high in the air, and then worked in the Sanders direction. Well done, the Morthog Morton. Got his positioning spot on and saw it away. Quick release forward now, looking for Jack Turner, but again, Gronwald was there. Turning with it is Muller. Back to Gronwald, who plays it to Warrener. Chips it in the Sanders direction. It floated over his head, though, and Quayle lets it run wisely, despite Jardin's best, albeit fruitless, efforts wide on the wing.
I'd say the Colonel thought Dwayne Pipe was going to be behind him as his natural position at right wing, and for probably the first time he's cut inside of him, and it's the first time the Colonel has let the ball go. So a bit unfortunate play there from Zebras, as I think they certainly could have been in there, as we see a throw-in looking to come from South Hobart. It's probably going to be launched long, and it is onto the head of Kemp, who just flicks it on, and that man Imran. So Vivian picks it up, looks to dribble, tries to pick out Sunday, but just picks out Gorries. We see Nick Morton in probably the most space he's had to run into all day. Looks to play it forward. Nicely cut out there from the Chicago kid. Couldn't quite make out Jack Turner, and I'm not sure if Turner's... Not sure what's happened there, but play is continuing. No one's kicked the ball out yet, and he's miraculously back up is Muller from the ground. It's quite the recovery there as Farrell looks to pressure him. Dwayne Pipe on the ball. Effective tackle, but he keeps that bustling run. Charging through the South defence, but Gorry picks it up. Cleared by Brown. See the headed contest there. Warrener, followed by Grunwald, followed by Turner, followed by Hughes-Sloot. Bit of head tennis going on here. See Hughes-Sloot launching into the tackle there, but luckily studs were down. As Turner picks it up to Morton. Morton looks to play it forward to Walter. Battling one-on-one with Grunwald. Plays it back to Morton. Nicely cut out there from Sunday for a throw, but nice bit of spice in this game at the moment there, Andrew Cooling.
Yeah, things just starting to fire up. Getting a little bit chippy out on the pitch. You can hear the players getting a bit more vocal. The crowd's coming into it. They need a goal to really liven the contest up a bit, though. The 2-goal margin to Zebras still very much in their pocket this one. That's a very late sliding challenge from Pounds there. Not sure what he was trying to achieve.
Yeah, we're really seeing the challenges start to snap in now as the rain's fallen. Players a little bit more willing to throw themselves into that grass and slide along there. So we might see a few imposing challenges to come in this game, which we look forward to up here because we like to see that.
So McCurry with the ball here. 24 minutes remaining. South Hobart needs something, and they need something soon, or it's going to be the Zebras jumping up to within a point of Olympia and Devonport, and they'll be stuck at 4 points adrift. Charging forward now, here is Hay. He centres the ball. It's going to deflect high in the air to the head of Luke Farrell, who nods it dangerously. Walsh gets his knock into it. Dwayne Walsh cuts it back. It was over the line, though. The flag is up. And Sanders puts it in the back of the net. Nothing doing.
So we'll just have another look again at this decision here about whether or not she's gotten over the line, but really good little header to flick it on there from the Dwayne Pipe, but it does look like it's just crossed the line, and once again that is a fantastic decision from our linesman there. But South look to get going pretty quickly here through Walter. Walter just jinks onto his right and plays a beautiful ball into Kemp. Cannot get enough onto it, and it's cleared away by Warrener. Certainly in no doubt about what he wants to do with that ball.
Lovely ball that from Walter. And Kobe Kemp had just stolen the yard on Gronwald there. Directly set up.
Probably the first time there Grunwald's just been half yard off the player there, as you see Turner on the ball in the centre of the park, pressured by Downs. Lays out to the new man Brennan, who looks back inside. Slightly overhit and straight to Sunday McCune, who'll look to launch it to Sanders. Nice little step over. Thomas read it the whole way. See the ball now picked up to Lloyd Farrell. Plays it out to Gorry. Looks down the line but can't beat Sunday. I haven't seen Gorry bomb on as much as I thought this half as I was expecting. Very good defensive play there from Zebras as Morton's on the ball, and as soon as I say that, Gorry finds some space on the right wing, delivers a nice looking ball in, but the keeper comes out and claims, and he hasn't had too much to do this half, McCurry, but nice solid pair of hands there.
Yeah, he does well and gets us going in with a long ball in the Sanders direction. Gorry tracking back, provided some support to Oscar Thomas. Now Brown just shielding Sanders there. Back to Kieran Brown. He plays short to Kobe Kemp. So Hobart still committed to the slow build-up from the back here. Though time is starting to become an enemy. He thumps it straight to McEwen. That was ordinary. He got plenty of space here Sunday, and he threads it through for Dwayne Walsh, who's made a great run. Takes a touch, a brilliant block from Liam Quayle again, bailing his side out. He's been fantastic. Own goal aside, he has been outstanding in defence today. This one's curled in dangerously away by Quayle.
I do have to completely agree with you there, because that is absolutely a goal without that challenge there from Liam Quayle, and he did marvellously to get across there. No real risk of winning a penalty for the opposition there either, because he was very clean with the challenge too, which is crucial in those kind of areas. So we just see the ball. Oh yeah, and it's managed to stay in. A little bit of tennis there from the Dwayne Walsh. Beautiful stuff. Good to see.
I think that's actually rebounded off the house and gone back onto the netball court, which is quite an achievement out there, but I will just third that statement about Quayle's play today. He's probably been South's best on ground, which for someone who scored an own goal is quite rare, as we see Warrener into the loopy throw in there.
Nice little calm body check there too from Dogger Brown, showing his experience and not really allowing the Zebras boys to get in behind. Starting to get to the time though where Souths fans will be getting really worried about the way that this game's heading, because Zebras have been enjoying a little bit of possession at the moment, but they won't be doing themselves any favours with balls like that. So they get it going quickly, South Hobart, but can't really do anything. And Dwayne Walsh just turns beautifully there to win away. Only as far as Dogger Brown, who just jinks it into the middle to Brennan, to Kemp, plays the ball outside. Looks to get forward to Walter, and he can't really do anything with the ball that's offered to him. Another throw in to the Zebras to be taken by Hay.
So 20 minutes for South Hobart to try and conjure something. It's looking like once again Saville to win his duel with Ken Morton in the managerial stakes. His Devonport side frustrated South last year. They blew everyone away, bar Devonport, and this year it's looking like Zebras becoming a nemesis of South. So look to make it a pair of victories early in the year. South with Brown carrying out from the back here. He pumps it long this time for the Mordhawk to chase after. Lewis leading him to the ball. And he'll just shield this one out of play, despite the best efforts of the Mordhawk.
South already having made 2 subs. I'm just curious to know if they could. I think that's Connor Schmidt warming up there down by the sideline. So South looking to make their last substitution. Just need a little bit more spice, I think, in the attacking midfield there. They've had plenty of run from the players, just missing that little bit extra quality there, as you see Hay looking to take the throw in long for the head of the Colonel, but headed clear. Morton rises high. See a foul given to South Hobart, and we'll see the tall timber of Dogger Brown and Thomas march forward. We'll see if anything can happen from this free kick.
Just before the free kick's taken, just looking to be a little bit of a change in shape here for South Hobart, where we've seen Nick Morton in that deeper role to try and negate the effect of Hoogsloot today, but this stage he's certainly willing to push forward. Kemp and Quayle over the ball. Kemp lobs it into the box. A big header from Dogger Brown gets it on target, but again, nothing doing for the South fans today. They have toiled and toiled today, the South boys. But this defence from the Zebras, you have to say, has been pretty magnificent, as Stratos just spots the little push there from Gorry onto Colonel Sanders.
Curious to see what the Zebras decide to do. 2-0 up. Typically this would be a position where Grunwald would charge forward, let Downs take it, and after a bit of a deliberation decided that's what the plan is. So good to see Zebras still pushing forward from these set pieces in order for that killer blow at 3-0, which would surely see South out of the game if they manage that. So we see Downs over the ball, aims back post. Hugh Sloot, Imran Lewis wrestling with it. Sunday with the shot and just wide. He's connected with that rather well, especially with the spin coming out from the free kick.
And didn't he have Brown sprawling himself in the goals right there? It's just hit it with a fair bit of power, and look at the leap there from Brown. He was very worried about that shot in there from Sunday McEwen, but fantastic play all round there. So we just see McEwen get on the ball again, and he beats Gorry. Looking to cut in, plays a couple of step overs, but Gorry is alert to the danger and thumps it out for a corner for the Zebras. Worrying times here for South Hobart, just inviting a little bit of pressure upon themselves as they look to try and get back into this game in the last 17 minutes of play here.
A pretty good spell there for South. Now they're forced to defend with Zebras dialing up their attack here, and
finally a camera angle we can show that rain to everyone as well.
It's Downs with a bit of an outswinger. It's not just wide by the Colonel. Lovely delivery again. This one's swinging the other way. And
yeah, a little bit slippery off the head of Colonel Sanders there. He could have really done with a refresher towel just to wipe the noggin there and perhaps get a bit more grip onto the ball.
Get the moist towelette onto it, you reckon, as this one is out of play.
I reckon with the rain falling, you'd need a fair few of those prime KFC refresher towels somehow. They're not very big these days.
You watch out, mate. Legs and Breasts are a sponsor of South Hobart. Vicky is. You should be out after you, I reckon. Can't be going spruiking that particular franchise.
Well, one has refresher towels and one doesn't.
One has much better chips and gravy.
Fair call.
Better.
It's not really going to work if I start calling him Legs and Breast Sanders, is it?
Absolutely
It's really not going to function.
Maybe just for South Hobart games we change it, and every other week we call him Colonel.
Well, I'm happy to stick with the Colonel.
So see, somewhere during that nonsense, South Hobart has won a free kick, and we'll see that one launched long, but unfortunately Dogger Brown wasn't looking at the ball. He's played it too early for him to march forward, but Gorry ends up with it with plenty of time and space to whip it into Dogger Brown. Lewis fighting for it, and Hay with a bit of a shank clearance there, let it roll out for a corner. Again, South Hobart just trying to turn the tide here a bit. Obviously they've got this corner to work it from, which Kemp's trotted over to take. This is why you...
Morgan calling for the keeper. We saw it in the couple week ago. And this one, scrambling the box. It's in the back of the net. Well, then pull one back, South Hobart. Not a bloody glue who scored it, but it's in the back of the net. Game on.
And I think that might have even been Dogger Brown or Nick Morton, one of the two right there, because just the crowd here is going nuts, as you can hear behind me. There are a few kids who are very enthusiastic about this. And it's Nick Morton with the bicycle kick on the replay. That is just one of the marvellous goals that you will see in the National Premier League. Fantastic awareness, reflexes and execution there from Nick Morton. Marvellous stuff. Gets him back in the game.
Yeah, what a finish, and that certainly brought life to both this crowd and the game, as we see Hugh Sloot trying to get him win the ball, and that bicycle man Morton on the ball. He'll be feeling pretty good about himself after that great finish. Plays it out wide to Gorry. Little bit Jink inside there. Jink's inside again. Little bit of a heavy touch, but no pressure on him. Still looking for options. Goes back out wide to Walter, who's moved to this wing position. Back to Morton. Got plenty of time to centre the ball in, but it's probably going to go straight to the head of, I think that's Downs. Back out to Brennan, who's looking at showing a good turn of speed there against Hay, but a great covering tackle from Jaden Hay. Certainly going to be a very interesting last 13 minutes here with South, particularly the last 5, powering on the pressure here.
Oh, and it's got me excited now, that finish there from Nick Morton. I am up and about here because they are coming, the South Hobart boys, as Lukey Hooks looks to clear it away, and he just gets thumped into there by Dogger Brown, who is absolutely taking no prisoners when there is a chance to score there today. Just thumps him down right there, and very, very good to see that he's not giving up an inch here today, Dogger Brown. They want to get ahead even.
the game needed a goal. We've got one. We've got the grandstand finish coming up now. 2-1 and Zebras got to try and hold on. Can South Hobart pull off a big comeback? They were looking out of it, but they've pulled one back through Morton. And then the Zebras hold out. This is the end of the pitch they want to keep it as Gorry slides in, makes a good challenge on McEwen.
Really good imposing challenge there from Gorry, who's certainly had his hands full today with the work of Sunday McEwen. I've been very impressed by his work up and down this left-hand side for one of the players who's one of the best right-backs in this competition too. So full credit to Sunday McEwen for the way he's worked today.
You see Jaden Hay bringing out the towel here. I'm not sure where he's obtained that one from.
That's clever.
That is some Savile mastery there. Just having the towel at hand for Hay to wipe the slippery ball on this. He looks to launch it forward in the direction of Hughesloot. Goes over his head. Kemp with the ball back to Morton, who just thumps it clear towards the halfway line. Yeah, clever play there from Zebras. Every little marginal gain taken. As we see a sub being prepared, it's got to be South Hobart.
Schmitty Mad Dog.
As we see Connor Schmidt coming on for Jack Turn, who's had a good 78-minute stint on his return. A warm reception from the crowd. I think with the scoop from FFT Media Insider Andrew Cooling at half-time, with Ludlow going back to the mainland, we'll be seeing plenty more returner over the rest of the season.
This one will be thrown in by Warren in the Hughesloot direction. Again, 2 bodies on him. That's been something they've looked to clamp down on. He's still won his fair share of balls in the air, of course. So Schmidt making an immediate impact, wins the ball and storms forward. Warren fought back well though, saw it away from him. Under pressure now and just says, when in doubt.
When in doubt.
Whacks it out of play.
Just thumped away, but what an introduction into the game there from Connor Schmidt, is it?
Yeah, Connor Schmidt.
Just causing Warren all kinds of trouble immediately.
Fresh legs.
Really good change to inject a bit of pace into this near side here for this South Hobart team as they look to force the equaliser late on.
It was well defended. It falls to Kobe Kemper, hits it on the left. It might fall for Morton. Sliding. Lewis pushed him over. Play on the call. Oh, he might have just gone down too easily there.
Controversy here late on.
Pushing motion to me. Here's McEwen back the other way. It's all happening here at Darcy Street as Brown lofts it forward. We were going to stop it here eventually and another look at that one, but for now, Adam Gorry jinking back inside of Hughesloot. He's still full of run. He's cut out there, but he'll get another bite at it. Then comes in Muller and a free kick given. Let's have another look at that one.
I'll say we finally had a stoppage here, and I was up here gesticulating for a push. But we see the deflection off Downs. Imran Lewis jumps over the ball. He's all over him there. That's tight.
He's using him as a step ladder there, Imran Lewis, and I think that South Hobart fans will be very disappointed to not get a penalty for that one as Connor Schmidt looks to drive it into the box. Just flicked away there by what looks like Walters. Ball falls to Gorry. Looks to lob it back into the far post. McCurry comes well. Punches it away. The ball's gathered by the Dwayne pipe. He's got Colonel Sanders up ahead of him. Looks to go to Colonel Sanders, but it's a poor ball really. And just turns the ball straight back over to South and invites a bit more pressure back onto this Zebras lineup. So we see Loic Farrell just settle onto the ball, plays it across. Ball falls to Schmidt. Certainly worked very hard there by Warrener. The header comes back out, but it's recovered by Gorry, who just kind of slaps it agriculturally forward. It's a little bit of a tangle there between Muller and Morthog, as Morthog just gives him a pat on the shoulder but doesn't quite offer him the hand back up because he's in a bit of a hurry right now to get going and get back into this game.
South Hobart temporarily down to 10 men here for the last minute or so. Oscar Thomas has come off and a fair bit of claret coming out from one of his eyes. He might need a bit of the eye patch treatment going. He certainly looked worse for wear. So South Hobart down to 10 at the moment, which
we all know how to treat those ones. Put a boatload of Vaseline on it and wrap her up in a bandage and you get back out there and keep playing.
He might be sporting a bit of a headband look very shortly, I'd imagine.
Future Terry Butcher coming on in about 10 minutes. May he score the equaliser? It'd be quite the effort if he does. So we see the block clearance there. Nicely taken out there from Morton, who looked to play it back to Gorry, who's in plenty of space. Quite casual on here on the ball and turns Downs, but doesn't really get much purchase on the ball as we see the Dwayne pipe goes over his head, plays back to the keeper, and Brown should thump it clear and does. No one out there on the wing there, but they'll chase it down.
Really didn't quite get the purchase on that back pass that he wanted to then, but we're seeing Walter just streak away here at the moment. Can South Hobart draw the equaliser here? He's just
sold into a little bit of trouble there. Imran Lewis using his body well to recover the ball, but a few cries for a free kick there. South keep coming as the ball falls to Gorry, who's under distinct pressure there from Sunday McEwen. Kemp looks to play a long ball over the top to Connor Schmidt, but Warrener gets a crucial header to that one to just knock it away and suspend the danger for the minute.
Well, it's South Hobart on the attack here. They're running the game out the better at the moment. A few lagging players in this Zebras team, I think. Of course, they've still got the same 11 they started with out there, and South with a few fresh legs, perhaps the difference at the moment. They're starting to push hard for an equaliser. The Morthog Morton out after this. Jaden Hay won't tie though, and he's across to put it out of play. He can run out 90 minutes, no issues. One of the fittest players in the competition. Quayle to take the throw. Plenty of bodies forward for South. They're pushing hard for the equaliser. Brown the target. He goes down a little bit too easily though. The referee not fooled, and that one's whacked out of play.
Yeah, the contest we saw a few minutes ago with the push had the potential to be a penalty. That one, not really even close, to be honest. As we see, there's a huge amount of space here, but Paul ball easily cut out by Lewis, who thumps it forward. Colonel was looking to chase that down, but Gorry will pick it up. Saville barking orders out of his technical area below us here. That ball's hoofed forward, Imran clears, ball falls nicely, and the shot with a huge amount of power, and Mercury thumps it away, and that's a clear foul, and it's a penalty right on the corner of the box. We'd love to see the replay of that.
Oh boy!
It's a big decision. Brennan's lured him into the foul. As we have a look again, that's his clear foot out there from Hay inside the box.
Great decision.
That is a fantastic decision from the referee.
And I've got to give it to the referee there, because this is crucial stages of the match, and he has got that 100% right there, Stratos. Clear penalty, clear foul, right inside the box. And here we go. Who is it? Kobe Kemp stepping up to potentially equalise for South. And I think you've got the call here, calling.
Well, Kobe Kemp to step up. Can he restore parity to come back from 2 goals
Nerves
down?
in the stand.
Oh, silence. And Kemp steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way, and it's 2-2 here at Darcy Street. A stirring fight back from South Hobart.
And they're going nuts here behind me, the kids of South Hobart. They are absolutely over the moon to get the equaliser here.
As we see, a very bandaged Thomas walking back onto the field here. Calmly taken penalty. With only 5 minutes left in the match, we see South Hobart get it back to 2-2. It's been a spirited comeback here from South Hobart. I mean, can they push on? All the momentum is going with them.
And you've got to say, the legs here have been crucial. Some brilliant substitutions from Coach Kenny Morton here has really got them back into this game. And now I think that they'll be looking to push on and win it even.
We see Brennan chasing the ball down the left wing. Keeper coming out to challenge and just gets there in time. Great turn of pace from the youngster there. Looks to take it quickly. Hoofed in, but a bit not quite well hit. Lewis clears the ball in the direction of Colonel. Good bit of talk there from the South Hobart players. Play on. Kobe Kemp dribbles past Downs. Plays it back to Hay. Bit of ping pong here in the middle, but cleared forward. Cleared back forward by Dogger Brown. Lets it run to Kobe Kemp with Grunwald. Just in the nick of time to see Connor Schmidt underneath it. The shot by Denton! It's 3-2! It's a spirited comeback from South Hobart. And the crowd has gone absolutely wild here.
Alex Walter steps up, slides it past the keeper and makes it 3-2.
Absolutely out of nowhere. This is 2 minutes of absolute chaos here at South Hobart, Darcy Street, and it's just been swept home there. And what can you say? What a marvellous game, and this is why you watch and love football. Just look at what it means to everybody here at Darcy Street.
Oh, I don't know about you, Jake Morgan. My heart is absolutely pumping up here in the commentary box. A cool finish under pressure from Alex Walter. Had a bit of an up and down game so far, but right there, right when it was needed, coolly slotted into the far corner. At 3-2, and the Zebras bench below us is absolutely dumbstruck at the moment. They don't know what's hit them.
They are shell-shocked, dumb, deaf and blind at the moment, the poor Zebras bench, because you just wonder what's really going to change to get them back into this game now. The heart shown by this South Hobart team today has been quite phenomenal, because they have been under pressure from the get-go. These long balls that have absolutely peppered their box, and the good work from players like Sunday McEwen up this one side and Colonel Sanders up the other. It's been just incredible. And look at that finish again from Walter. Just absolute calmness from the attacker up front.
And the crowd oohs in anticipation at South Hobart concede a corner. It's where we've seen Zebras at their most threatening all day. There's a bit of pressure on in the box there, but it was headed clear. You see, looks like the Colonel is on the ball. Takes a few steps back. Whips it in, going, looking near post. Calm header there from Morton away, but straight back to him again. Delivers again, first time, a low raking ball. Number 3 there from Colonel. Looks near post, and again a thumping header clear. And eventually it's clear. Whipped back in the box. Huge salute, not quite, and they did. Oh, God, Colonel Sanders.
Sanders with a great chance to equalise, and he's volleyed
You
wide.
think that you hear Olays when team are playing well. At this South Hobart crowd, you get a good cry every time there's a beautiful clearance away. They are enthusiastic and just loving this play here. A look at that little lob in there from Dwayne Walsh, and Hoogslute just knocks it down, and you've got to say that Colonel Sanders probably should have done a little bit better there. Some fantastic work from
Looks
the big
like he's
unit.
about to make his bow for the Stripey Horses. He'll replace Warner, so a bit more of an attacking fullback, but certainly 3-2 as we head into stoppage time. It's been one of the more stunning turnarounds of this. They look dead and buried at 2-0 with 15 to play at South Hobart. They fought back. One goal often leads to another, and they have thrown a massive spanner in the works here. What a turnaround. It's been an incredible day. Is there yet more late drama to come though? Walsh tried to knot it in the Sanders path, and again the South defence stands tall, and every defensive act is drawing a raucous shout from the crowd here. They're loving this fight back. Mercury away. He's turned it over though to Brennan. This is South Hobart surging forward now. He's going to head corner flag here. Jinx inside of Hay, just impeded him. And nothing doing, says the referee.
The crowd is not happy about that at all, as we see Grunwald looking to take that as quickly as he can. Zebra's got 4 up at the moment. That's not the best one, but Hoogslute will cut it out. Again, knocked forward in the direction of Colonel, but a diving header from Dogger Brown. Flicked on. Grunwald effectively playing as a sweeper at the moment, launches it forward in the direction of Sunday McEwen, but I don't think he's going to win that header over Thomas. Gorry chests it down in front of, and then it's ricocheted off Hoogslute, and I'm assuming Gorry will take his time in taking this throw in.
And the headgear is certainly proving no problem at the moment for Oscar Thomas. That's a beautiful defensive header right there, and just showing absolutely no fear with the wall wound. But geez, hasn't it come alive here in the last 15 minutes or so? Really looking like a South's victory at the moment, and their crowd are up and about. Gorry looks to throw it forward in the direction of probably really only Sunday McEwen, but they've managed to win themselves a throw, but it's been overruled by Stratos, the linesman, just there, so throw-in is just hurled forward from Gates. Another imposing header there from Oscar Thomas, who is just unafraid of the head going in there. With the boot high, it wins the free kick for South. And you've got to think that we're drawing towards the conclusion here of what has been a hearty comeback from this South Hobart side. Look at that courage. You got to love that from Oscar Thomas. Head over the ball, boot coming in at the face, and he's not giving up the win, even if it costs him a few stitches.
Kemp standing over this one. He's just going to swing it along down to the corner. Good option that over the head of Grunwald. Walter chasing it. I don't know if he can track it down. He did. Only as far as Lewis, who's very casual. Got it to his centre back Perry. Took a heavy touch, almost let Gorry in. Downs now to Gates, pressured by the Morthog Morton, who implores the referee for a throw, and he's not fooling anyone though. Long throw down the line to Hoogslute. He turns with it nicely. Lovely flick, some goal there by McEwen. Sanders tried to mirror it and couldn't, and South Hobart get the throw.
It's absolutely ricochet right off Sanders' chest, and again, I don't think Gorry will be in a terribly quickly taking this one. It's surely in the 93rd minute of play here. I'm not sure how much stoppage time there'll be. We see the ball down to Schmidt. Looks to play it back inside towards Kemp. We see Brennan out on the wing, back to Loic Farrell. Plays it further out to the left wing. Looks inside. Not sure where that was directed, but Farrell with a towering header only as far as Lewis, who looked to hoof it forward. So we hear the whistles from the crowd here. It's Hugh Sloot wins the header.
And I think that Stratos, the referee, is enjoying this so much that he just does not want it to end as Mercury and Walder get into a bit of a foot race, but comfortably picked up by the Zebras keeper there. Seconds remaining, you would have to think, and that they're going to have to get on with it quickly. Zebras lump it forward to Hook Sloot as per usual. Falls to Sunday McEwen, who looks to play in Dwayne Pipe, but just absolutely belted away there by the South Hobart defence. And you can hear what it means to them here today. What a comeback from the South Hobart boys. What a magnificent comeback in testing conditions.
It's a season-defining performance that from South Hobart. In a season like this where the margins are so fine, they could have been 4 points from the top of the table. Instead, they sit just a point from the summit. Zebras fall back off the pace. 2-0 with 15 to play. This looked over. What a turnaround from South.
I mean, it's an absolutely exceptional turnaround. Full credit to South Hobart. They absolutely played out of their skins the last 15 minutes. I do think those fresh legs, especially with Brennan on one side, Schmidt playing the little dummy there for who scored? Walter to score. But yeah, Saville and Zebras have got to be a little bit unhappy with that, conceding 3 goals, as we see the goals coming up here in a minute on the highlights.
A little bit unhappy, Jorg, and you've just seriously underestimated the wrath of Saville there. The hairdryer will be out below us very shortly, I suspect, gentlemen.
I don't know if it'll be a hairdryer. It could be a hurricane down there today after they've given that one up. But you just have to give credit to this South Hobart side for really persisting, because for about 70 minutes there, you have to say that Zebras defence looked pretty close to impenetrable for the vast majority of this game. And they've done a marvellous job with a depleted attack to push through this Zebras team, the South Hobart boys. What a marvellous game of football we had here at Darcy Street today.
Yeah, well, the A-League Grand Final coming out this afternoon, but good luck topping that for drama. I think you might have just seen the best 90 minutes of football you'll see today.
And look at that goal again there. What a beautiful finish there from Nick Morton, and he will be a very pleased man today as the cheers go up for their victorious Warriors down here at Darcy Street. It's been some fantastic work out there.
It's certainly been the theatre of dreams here today at Darcy Street. Rousing reception for South Hobart. We see the passion shown on these goals. I mean, you can just tell what it means to them. And as you were saying before, Andrew Cooling, it was a great season defining, I think is the best way to do it. It could have been 4 points away. They were just adrift. And that cool finish there from Walter.
Swooped on like the seagull on the odd ship, and he buries it, and what a dagger in the title race that could prove to be. Full time at Darcy Street, a stirring fight back from the home side. They come back from 2-0 down in the final 15 to win 3-2, and a great way to end round 8 of the NPL Tasmania. Bringing you the pictures, Ash Wilkes by on stream, superb always with Luster on the camera. A big thank you for their work today. A big thank
Hasn't
you
he
for
done
Jake
fantastic
Morgan.
today, Ash, because there were some gnomes up here earlier that were wreaking mischief on our technical equipment, and I have to say he's done a marvellous job to get us back up and running.
After
Won't
Jake
be allowing those gnomes
completely
again.
destroyed the broadcast for 15 minutes.
It was the gnomes, mate.
Removing his commentary, the better of the two commentators who didn't knock out the South of the day. Paul Hunt, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And that it has. So full time at the Theatre of Dreams. South Hobart 3, Hobart Zebras 2. Couldn't resist. Oh, God, no. Could be a one last in there. No, where's your proof of it? Could have been balls.
I'm over there.